Hey everybody, welcome to Birdman Outdoors. My name's Brandon. Uh, been wanting to do this video for a while on my outdoor wood boiler. Um, Hopefully the weather allows me today. It's a little windy and a little cold, but we'll see what happens. So this is the central boiler, Classic Edge 750, and it's the stainless steel version. Um, just wanted to do a video on some of the pros and cons of what I see, and then also some of the stuff that you hear other people talk to in a couple of Facebook groups, um, that boiler groups, and there's not a lot of positive feedback from the central boiler units, and I'll kind of try to explain why I may think that is, but so I just figured I'd give a kind of a quick walk around to this unit. This is a gasification unit, so it is very different from a standard boiler, and I think that's one of the common misconceptions people have, that maybe went from a traditional style boiler to this style boiler. It's a whole different ball game when you look at how you're feeding this thing. Um, so let me I'll grab the camera and just kind of give a quick walk around of the unit and just some of my thoughts here. All right, I'll start on the side here. As you can kind of see, this is the control panel that runs everything right now. My fans are on and it's running. Basically, my water temperature there is at 181, and then it'll flash, and then that'll be kind of the lower chamber temperatures at 778 right now. One of the things I wanted to kind of say about these boilers is every boiler, no matter what the brand is out there, they work perfectly when you meet all the manufacturer's recommendations on how you're maintaining it and how you're feeding it and what kind of wood you're putting in it. This being a gasification boiler, you really need to have split seasoned wood that you're putting in here. You can see from the wood that I just moved up here today, a lot of it's still rounds, but all of this was standing dead wood. So when you have that, as long as they're not too big, I don't really split them down, and they seem to work pretty good. That's mostly all oak in there for the most part that was standing dead. But if you, and I did this my second year with this, if you try to put green rounds in here, you will not have a good time. It will not perform like you would want it to. So you really got to keep that in mind. A lot of the frustrations that you see online and the negative comments and the complaints are all related to people are just not using their boilers correctly, at least from what I'm seeing. And so that's kind of a big thing. But there's a bypass handle here. If I open this up, that'll allow the smoke to come out the chimney instead of go through the gasification process. But these are a little different because they burn a fire basically upside down, which is a lot different. I'll try to show you that a little bit here. It's mid-process, so I just put wood in here, but it burns a fire upside down, and everything kind of goes down through the bottom, down into there, and then it comes out in the lower chamber, which I'll show you here once I get this thing back closed up. All the fans are housed right here. This reaction chamber door, that's where you'll see the gasification process happening, if it's starting. It's just kind of starting right now since I opened it up. But it basically will burn a fire upside down, down into the reaction chamber that runs through the bottom of the stove back, and then it runs up to the heat exchangers, which are located back here. Some of the earlier models of these had the access for the heat exchangers inside the firebox, which was a kind of a terrible idea that they switched away from now. So now that I'll see if I can get this off here real quick. So this is the access door to the heat exchangers. I got a brush on there that I use for cleaning, but basically open this up. this is the heat exchangers. The nice thing about these is they're very easy to access. The problem that I see with these is that they're very difficult to clean. You can see the spacing that there is. There's not much room in there, and the heat exchangers are all parallel to each other, so it's very hard to get a tool in there to clean them. So that's one thing that I think could be improved on in this unit. But other than that, everything's pretty easy to access. The other thing you'll find with these gasification units is they do not produce very much ash because everything's burned completely. So I'm probably taking about 4 shovelfuls of ash out a week maybe, compared to a lot of the traditional boilers where you're taking, a garbage can of ash out every week. And then down here in this is the side access panel. You can see where I got my pump installed. I just have a single loop on there, though it does have room for 2 more loops that you can have, one right here and one right there. But I just got a single pump going into a water to air heat exchanger for the furnace, and then I got a sidearm heat exchanger on the hot water heater. And then I also have a unit for the garage, but I didn't hook that up yet. I just got it plumbed right now. So again, I guess the main thing I just like to point out is that when you go to look at a boiler or get a boiler, you need to make sure you do your research that the type of boiler that you're getting, that you're able to meet those manufacturers kind of the rules that they have set up for the wood. If this was a standard boiler, you can throw green wood in it and everything like that. This unit will burn green wood, but the fans will be running constantly. It doesn't like it. The moisture in the wood just kind of kills that whole gasification process. So really kind of have that expectation that if you're going to have a unit like this, you got to get ahead on your wood, a couple of years in advance, so that you have wood that's split and drying, and then you'll be in a lot better shape with a unit like this. I kind of got caught off guard my first year. I didn't have that, and I ended up fighting it most of the year. So I guess that's about it for this video. So let me know if you got any questions or comments about this unit. But I have not had any issues with the unit itself, other than the issues that I kind of gave to myself by not having the right wood and not feeding it correctly that first year. The second year, everything's been going great. So thank you.